It was just banter. Banter. She and I enjoyed some banter together.
What's going on, guys? My name is El De Niro and welcome to another edition of Top 5 Tweets. Today we're going to be looking at Richard Keys. Richard Keys is a former Sky Sports football presenter whose passion for football is so strong that it forbids him from supporting societal progression. He has worked for several news companies and is currently employed over at professional troll station Talk Sport. He was always seen as a strange, slimy, smug, tall hobbit of a man, but his now notorious defence in the name of defending himself against claims he's a misogynist is why we all continue to keep his name alive on social media, having claimed, along with his buddy Andy Gray, that having a Lions woman instead of a Lions man was absolutely ridiculous and that she'd obviously make a huge mistake at some point in the match because she's a woman and not a man, and women are inferior to men because Richard Keys is a dinosaur. He lost his job and fell under public scrutiny, to which his stern, straight-to-the-point response was that it was just banter. Following the negative publicity, several videos of him being a weird, sexist, out-of-touch old man were released onto YouTube, one of which saw him asking Jamie Redknapp if he'd smash a girl, which actually caused Jamie Redknapp to cringe himself into a coma and drown in the awkwardness of the situation. Let's look at this Bellend's top 5 tweets. In at number 5 we have Richard Keys tweeting his pal Andy Gray's Premier League British 11, which curiously contains the former Republic of Ireland captain Roy Keane in midfield. Now, every Irish person is conditioned to be offended by a British person's refusal to understand what the concept of a republic is, but you'd think two so-called professional pundits would be able to combine their limited brain power to come to the conclusion that Keane quite clearly doesn't belong in a British 11. But what irks me the most about this tweet is that Keys fired back at his critics by tweeting minutes later saying, "Keane played for a British club. What's wrong with you guys?" This kind of exemplifies my resentment for Richard Keys. Like, the way he just creates a loophole to try and escape criticism, it just sums him up better than what a lot of things can do. Like, are you just gonna sit there and pretend that Cristiano Ronaldo and Thierry Henry didn't also play for British clubs? Like, because if you imply this loophole, then you just leave it open to everything else, rather than just admit that you were fucking wrong in the first place. Tweet number 4 comes from a fave-star screenshot, because Keys has since deleted this tweet, or at least I couldn't find a decent screenshot of it anywhere in the world, but it's from nearly a year ago, from before Arsenal won the FA Cup last season, and Keys says, "Since Arsenal last won a trophy, Guardiola retired as a player, became a coach, won 18 trophies and took a year out of the game." This tweet is all about perspective, and it gets right to the heart of the fact that it's been a long time since Arsenal won anything in football, and that Wenger's philosophy is perhaps outdated, or there's been a refusal to adapt to a certain style in the modern game, kind of like how Richard Keys last reviewed his stance on women's rights, and since then women have been allowed to legally drive cars and vote. The next greatest tweet to come from Richard Keys was during the France vs Honduras game in the World Cup, when France scored what was definitely a goal and then celebrated said goal, and had said goal reviewed on the goal line technology showcased at the World Cup, as the referee agreed that it was a definite goal and the game continued. Richard Keys had other ideas, as he tweeted, "That wasn't in at any time, told you this technology wasn't foolproof." If only your fucking keyboard was foolproof. The second greatest tweet came moments after the last one, as Richard Keys backtracked in spectacular fashion, tweeting, "Got us another angle. It was in." Again, at no point does he say, I was wrong. Foolproof. The tweet I've chosen for number 1 on this list is the one that actually inspired the video. I saw it this morning and it reignited the burning hatred I have for this utter clown of a man, as he tweeted yesterday saying, "Clever Cazorla's pen. It showed a total lack of respect to a young goalkeeper. He didn't do it last week." Like, the thing about penalties, Richard Keys, is that if you keep doing the same kind of penalty, then goalkeepers are going to catch on to it and eventually save it. Implying that somebody tries a chipped penalty just to disrespect a goalkeeper, and then using the fact that their last penalty wasn't chipped as an example of that is like saying, well, you can't have a woman acting as the assistant referee if a man was doing it last week because I'm an idiot whose opinions only exist so that any normal, sane person can laugh at them. Anyways, what should he have done with the penalty? I saw one suggestion that he should have booted it out of play out of respect. I think he should have smashed it. I think that's what Richard Keys would have wanted, just like he smashed his career.
Some ban, 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 ban. banter.
But that is the end of this episode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please do leave a like. That would be much appreciated. If you guys have any suggestions for future candidates for this series, please do leave them in the comments section and I will take a look at those. I've been El Dinero. Thanks for watching.